everyone, it is time for the next video from Agotapop's December Tinies on Shelves. We have the cutest picture here. If you have a look as I come in, we've got a little cozy sleepy cat on a chair having a snoozle with a Christmas hat on. It's just so sweet. Look at that. So where should we start? Well, there's a lot to do, isn't there? A lot going on. Let us think about the armchair. I'm thinking if we go for a sort of brown leathery look with wooden legs, that might be a good place to start. I had thought red, but it's Christmassy. We're going to put some red in other places. It's going to have a red hat, for example. So if we go for a brown, I think it will work in our favour. But I'm thinking if I use the raisin, just having a look at my swatch chart, it's a very reddy brown. I think it might work well. So we'll see. I just start with a light layer of raisin over our whole chair and then see where it goes. See what I mean? It's quite a reddish, almost a, would I say burgundy? Maybe. Oh, I'm just going to switch my tablet on just in case my boy contacts me. He did contact me actually to tell me that it's his last Monday lesson of term, so that's nice. So that means I don't have to get up or make lunch boxes on a Monday anymore for until sort of January. Hurrah! It's nice, isn't it? He's going to be having Monday morning lessons in January again, but it just gives me a little bit of a rest. Time to do my own Christmassy things, you know. And it is quite near the beginning of December still recording this as well, so it's quite early for him to end. But I think they might have like assignment drop-ins or revision sessions and things like that he might not feel he needs to go to because he stays very on top of things, which is good. He gets stuff, do you know what I mean? He's lucky, so he doesn't have to go back and have things re-explained to him. He ends up actually doing that for others, which is very good. It cements that knowledge, I think. So this is still quite light. It needs more work, but the reasoning behind starting light is that you can decide whether you want to have another layer of this colour or whether that's dark enough and you want something a little bit lighter, you know, and whether you want to put some shadows in a few places and that sort of thing. So I am going to make that decision as well in a moment once I've finished all of it. Just been doing some chores. I've made a coffee which I'll drink when I finish this video, and so I think this needs a dark shadow there and here under the blanket. I put some washing on as well, so hang that up later. Takes about an hour, I think, something like that. It'll be a bit shadowy in here. I feel we can sort of almost fill that in a little bit behind here, but here where this is sort of gathered, isn't it, these sort of chairs, so this bit here will be darker like that. I might have a shadow down there. Oops, and along the edge of the cushion. So a bit like that, and then shadowy along here. Maybe a bit along the bottom too, like that. And now I need to put something on top to just burnish that colour. I think I might use the Turkish Delight colour. It's a sort of pinkish, brownish colour. I'm just trying to find it. And I think it will just work. So, there we go. You might prefer to do a different colour. It's really completely up to you. I love that this has been patched with a little heart. So cute. Yeah, it doesn't really matter too much, I don't think. These shadows are disappearing as I'm doing this, so I'm going to have to go back over those. But I can hear the water from the washing machine. It doesn't matter. but that's fine. I'll come back in there with the darker colour, but I do want this dark, so it's just the way it is. Yeah, I do usually think these are sort of brown leather, but it's just nice to do it a bit different. But of course they could be like fabric, but you know, you've got a blanket over it. Leather, I really dislike leathery furniture. I know a lot of people really like it, but I find it so uncomfortable. You sort of get hot and stick to it, or it's just not soft to touch. It's just, I'm just not a fan at all. But that's it's, you know, very personal choice, obviously. Right, some of the darker areas have remained. I'm going to try the raisin again to see if I can just get this bit to, these bits to work. I think I can do it with this. It just didn't quite get enough colour out of my pencil. She says as if it's a pen. I think I just need to fade that off. It looks a bit too, we didn't go over that bit, we'll go over it in there. That needs to be right up against there. I keep singing a song this morning. My husband was like, West Side Story. I was like, yeah. I was watching my dancing show, and they had, it was a sort of musical special, so they had a song from there. I really like it. I won't sing it for you, don't worry. Nutshell, this is for this wooden part. This is again just an initial layer, so don't press too hard, just get a decent amount down. But it's quite a grey colour, isn't it? But that rug's quite detailed, isn't it? Now, the question is in my head, which I need to think of as I'm colouring, is that a Christmas rug? Or is that just a ordinary rug? How are we going to colour it? And would it match the chair or not? I don't know. I don't know. It's a good question, isn't it? Liquorice. We're going to do some shadowing. So under here, there's actually some shadows drawn in anyway. It's quite dark, isn't it? But what we're going to do is draw some lines in our wood with this. Give it a bit more texture. Because wood isn't just a flat. And then, yeah, that's better. Looks more like wood. Right, rug. Still thinking about that. Maybe some greens. Let me think. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab the cactus. Where is it? There it is. Oh, it's hiding. Oh. So I'm going to do this cactus colour for sort of the main part of the rug, really. So the centre. And you can see that it, although it's green, which I think is Christmassy, like this red is, it's a more muted colour. So once we do our presents, if we do those in more bright colours, it will sort of look different, should we say. I should really be doing this in the circular movement to give a sort of fluffy look, but never mind. Now I'm going to do each of these triangles in this colour too. It's going to take a bit of time, but that's okay. It'll be worth it once it's done. Now if you find this a bit too difficult, if the spaces are a bit small, colour it all in one colour and then just do the triangles on top, or don't do them, or do them in a pen, or just do the outline of them. You know, there's other options for you if you find it like these little fiddly bits, if you find it a bit difficult, but I find it okay. You might need to sharpen your pencil, she says to herself. There we go. So it's the 2nd of December today, so I've opened 2 advent calendar windows. The first one was a letter, and it said, "To Santa, I've been good this year." Have I been good this year? Maybe. Maybe not. And today's was, yeah, I can't remember. That's good, isn't it? Really good. Thinking hard and not getting anywhere with my thoughts. Never mind. It'll come to me. Maybe. Or I'll go and look when I get my coffee. I do like having the little a little calendar that's just going to look for a sort of muted red. I'm thinking the strawberry. Yeah, I do like having an old-fashioned just paper calendar, because I don't eat that much chocolate. Well, I do a bit, but you know, and not a type that you can find in an advent calendar. And sometimes I like to have a Lego calendar or something, but just being a bit careful this year because of husband working less hours. We just try not to go too mad on spending, so cutting out what are they, £25 calendar makes quite a difference. You know, that's someone's prezi. So it's all good, you know. I've got plenty. Sorry, I'm concentrating here. Quite tricky, isn't it? You know, I had this initial thought of doing this rug purple and pink. It's not though, is it? Now, I'm keeping this light. I don't want it to stand out too much. Our cat, our gifts, I think they are the things we want to see. They're the Christmassy things. So this is why this is a sort of muted colour, not too bright. You could burnish it down, it would really stand out. But I'm quite happy just doing it quite lightly. There we go. Now I realise I've just noticed I haven't done the patches on the armchair. I think I might do a I knocked it, didn't I? Sorry. I might do one redwood. This is a brown, which is quite similar to our raisin that we used, as if someone were sort of trying desperately to match but didn't quite get it right. Didn't quite have the right colour. And then with the heart, we'll do it in a sort of red. Actually, I might grab that strawberry and do it in that, but do it quite hard. So again, we're sort of going the other way, so going towards the red spectrum. Again, they couldn't quite match, but it looks cute. There we go. Now, I think we need to do our cat next. And I'm thinking he looks like he's striped, like a little tiger. But I'm not sure what colour. I'm going to start with the spice. I'm thinking gingery tabby cat, but I don't really know how to colour them. So I'm just going to do my best. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to put a layer of this all over. Oh, he's so cute. I'm not even sort of worrying about fur or direction of fur or anything, because I just think it's cute. There we go. And what I might do is just do these stripes a bit darker. I feel like he should have some on his face. I'm going to do that. And his nose, I'm going to do a black nose. Actually, I think I'm going to use the coffee bean for his nose, sort of really dark brown, and then I can also use it for his inside of his ears. So here it is, coffee bean. I've just sharpened it, so I'm going to use it here first. Just some strands. Oh, strands in there, and then nose. Oh, it wants to crumble. Right, let's get our brush. There we go. Now also, there might be a little bit of shadowing going on, so I'm going to use this coffee bean still, but very, very gently, just around here and here, just to put in the tiniest sort of shadowy areas. We might make the end of the tail a bit darker, like that. I did that on a cat I was colouring on a different page yesterday, actually. Oh, where's my voice gone? I was colouring a cat yesterday, and I did a little dark bit at the end of its tail. I thought he looked quite cute. Right, there he is. Hat. We need some red, and this time we're going to go for a proper red. We're going to go for the scarlet. Here it is. I wonder how many of you have got cats, and I wonder if any of you have got a cat that would lie there asleep with a hat on like that. I can't imagine any cat doing that. I always imagine cats are a bit stroppy, and they aren't going to be up for wearing a Santa hat as much as you might bribe them. But I might be wrong, but oh dear. But I just don't think cats are very responsive, obedient, all those things. We'll do that fluff later. I've got a plan for that. Don't need to worry too much about that red, but we're going to do our Christmas trees on this blanket. Not that colour, not that colour. I think we will go for jungle green. It feels to me like the best sort of mid-green neutral colour. It's quite bright for a Christmas tree, but that's okay. I want to sort of emphasise the Christmassy bits in the picture, if that makes sense. And we'll do the little stems in a brown. We'll use the natural brown. Oh, that means I'll have to turn my Monday morning alarm off, I think. But maybe I won't. It's probably a good idea to still get up. Sorry, just rereading my son's message about the fact that he doesn't have to be in. Now, what colour is this blanket? We could do a dark green background. Or we could go light with like a yellow. Or we could go red, but we've got a red hat there, so that's not a good idea. We could do like the Dijon sandy colour. I'm going to go for sandcastle. Here we go, sandcastle. And just, I think it looks quite goldish. That's the plan. You know, Christmas gold. But I felt if I did a dark green, the trees might get lost, if you know what I mean, disappear into the green. I didn't want that. He looks so snuggly, doesn't he? It'd be very cosy to be snuggled up in that chair right now on the blanket, having a little snoozle. I don't remember the last time I snoozed in the day. It's not something that I do. Right, I'm going to just grab the natural brown that we used for the, and just put a little shadow along those edges there. I need a bit of yellow in that corner. There we go. Now, cushion and the one he's lying on, I want to stick to colours that are going to sort of match the chair. You know, it could go like blue, but it just won't match the chair. So I want to match the chair, and this redwood does, but I think that's a bit too close. But we could let's go for the burnt sienna. It's not Christmassy, but the chair isn't, is it? It's just part of the furniture in the house. So I'm going to go for this burnt sienna colour, just to give it a sharpen. And we can see these lines here and here. Now for me that indicates that the cushion is sort of not in the corners. Do you know what I mean? So this is it's sort of like a round cushion in a square space. So that will influence some shading on here later. But I'm going to make this quite dark because I just realised how close it is to the colour of the cat. See, camouflage against the cushion. We don't really want that, do we? So we're going to get this down quite heavy. And then get the liquorice. I'm going to darken things with this. So there, just concentrating a bit now here. Put a shadow around our cat. It will separate him from the cushion, which is good. There we go. Now I'm thinking he could be lying on a Dijon coloured blanket. He looks very spoiled, I think. Oh, there's a bit of cushion there. Sorry, just grabbing the burnt sienna just for that bit in there. Sorry, I'm being fussy now. Going back to it, doing a little bit more like that. Sorry, now I'm back to the Dijon. My parents have started taking little naps, you know, but I think they go to bed too late, to be honest. But there's also seems to be a thing when you reach a certain age you start napping. My dad did. It's more unusual for my mum to nap, but I wonder if it'll happen to me. Maybe it's often, my husband finds when he sits down he's got nothing to do. I never sit down and have nothing to do. So now we need some shadows here. What shall I use? Natural brown for my shadows. Yeah, I think some people just sort of sit down and pop the telly on and relax, and there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever, but I always sit down and I either chat to my sister online, or I'm always colouring, obviously. So there's always something, or I'm doing computery stuff. You know, there's always something to do. I relax in the evening when I go to bed. I go to bed early. I put on my get my tablet out. We're going to do these gifts, and then we're going to do the fur on the cat's hat, etc. I'll show you how I'm going to do it. This one's right next to the chair, so I think it needs to be green. We're going to have a nice bright. Have we used that yet? Yeah. Oh, we should on there. Okay, we'll use the spring bud. Yeah, I sit up in bed for a bit and I play a few games. I usually do the Wordle actually in the morning when I wake up before the alarm. But if I haven't done the Wordle or any of those sorts of New York Times games, I do those. And then I usually have a quick check of Instagram, see what's going on there. And then now, ribbon, red, I think. Or we could go with gold, but no, we've got a lot of those sorts of shades. Let's go pure red. I think it'll just look pretty with this colour green. Yeah, I'll play a bit of Candy Crush and then I might nod off. But, you know, I'm in bed, so that's what I'm there for. But I know you're not supposed to use electronics before bed. It's supposed to be bad for your sleep. But I don't find it. I mean, they say it, even if you go to sleep, it can affect your sleep. But I do have a filter on it, the blue light filter. But I suppose. But I find if I read, I have a lamp on and that's even brighter. So I can't win really. Now the present behind, we could do in quite a different colour. Like, you know, purple, pink, whatever. But I feel like if I introduce a different colour, it's going to be a bit weird, you know. So what should we do? We can do a sort of yellow wrapping paper. What colour's that? No, that's nasty. That's why I never use it. Sunflower, the butterscotch is one I think is a bit nasty. Sunflower. We'll use that for the box. It's a bright enough yellow for it to show up nicely. And then for the ribbon, I'll use yeah, I use the cardinal red. It's a bit more orangey. Oh, the sun is shining through the window opposite. It's really bright. Right, so I just want a bit of shadow on my present. So I'm going to grab this natural brown. Put a little bit there. And under there. And then on this one, just either side of the bow. Right, hat. We need some grey. Right, we're going to start with Moon Rock. Now, bear with me, this might seem odd. Colour it all in grey. Then get a darker shade. I'm squinting, Oxford grey. That sun is in my face. Sharpen it. And draw your fluff. There we go. Remember to overlap the edges. I know it's hard to see, but we'll get there. And then do the same with your winter lake or a darker grey. And just do lots of little lines. Then we need a Gellyroll. This is the 8. I didn't want to use the 10, which we've been using on this page. It's a bit too thick. And we draw in our white fluff, if we can get our pen to work. Go over the edges all around the place. So here, go over the edges of this bit onto the ears, over the edges to the hat, all there. And then just over the whole thing. We'll put a second layer on in a bit. Okay. Now normally we do a few bits of metallic pen, and I think the only place I can really think to do that is on these presents. So I'm going to go around the edge of the yellow one with this gold. And around the ribbon with the red. Can't get it out of the box. There we go. And I'm going to go around this ribbon with the red too. And around the other one with the green. There's two greens in my box. I'm using the lighter green box and sachet. What's it called? It's not called that. Set. I'll just say set. There we go. Now we can go back with our white to our cat. I've left the lid off, that was silly. To do more work on our fluffy bits here. Now you could do this sort of thing for your cat as well. If you want the cat itself to look fluffy, you could do a similar technique, but I didn't. I do think our cat needs to be a bit warmer though, in colour I mean, not like it doesn't need a blanket on. So I am going to use the soft yellow just to burnish him a little bit on the lighter areas here. I don't want him to disappear into the blanket. It just really needs a bit of burnishing. I should have done this before the fur, but we'll pretend that I did it before the fur. No one will know. That's better. I'm happy with that now. Now finally, if you wish, you can put some silver or sparkles. I think I'm going to do sparkles in his hat. So this is the number 700. Not too many. Don't want to obscure the whole effect, but you can certainly put a few sparkles in here and there. There he is. Right, I think I am done with that one. It is, I'm happy with it. The chair isn't completely burnished, and so it looks a bit more fabricy than leathery, and I'm absolutely fine with that. If you're doing one that you want to look more leather, you want to burnish your pencil down, you can use a burnisher or a blender to do that, to get rid of the white of the paper. And then you might even want to take your white pen and draw a few shine sort of lines on it to make it look really leathery. But I'm happy with mine looking like that. So there we go. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day and happy colouring.